Revealing America's Dark-Skinned Past, Volume 1, The Destruction of Ancient Cities and Artifacts. From the moment of the arrival of the European to the North American continent, many of the indigenous cultures began to show signs of decline. The lack of historical information led some to believe that these societies were the victims of some sort of extinction. But new archaeological evidence shows that the process was one of replacement and social evolution. The burden of lack of historical information lay directly in the hands of the conquering Europeans and later to the European settlers. As stated previously, when the Europeans arrived to the shores of North America, they encountered Negroid societies, and the conquerors did not want to leave evidence behind of advanced Negroid cultures that exhibited systems of civilization. Many of the descriptions of the indigenous people of the Americas describe people of a dark complexion. There were people in Panama that were described as such. These people are identical with the Negroes we have seen in Guinea, Africa. In the early 1560s, a Spanish official wrote to the king that in the island of Puerto Rico there are above 15,000 Negroes and less than 500 Spaniards, and in all of Hispaniola there may be 2,000 Spaniards and there are over 30,000 Negroes. The same is the case in the island of Cuba and in Veracruz, Puerto Rico de Caballos, which is in Honduras, and in Nombre de Dios, Cartagena, Santa Maria, and the coast of Venezuela, where there are 20 Negroes to one white man. Negro was a terminology that defined a person of a dark complexion. The term Negro or its equivalent was not used for a race, a concept that in the early 1500s had not yet developed, or for a single stock of people, or to point out to ancestry or ethnicity. It was usually a single description for a perceived color or appearance, and Negro was one of many terminologies that was used to define the indigenous inhabitants of North America. So when Christopher Columbus and the other explorers and conquerors began to navigate the Americas, they immediately began to utilize the indigenous people and began their destruction of the indigenous culture. Of course, slavery was a major factor in destruction of numerous indigenous tribes in the nation of North America. But another disparaging factor was the destruction of the ancient cities and the artifacts that would completely conceal the true identities of the original inhabitants of this continent.